We stop without a reason, just because the road felt right there. A small bench, sunlight cutting across it, nothing asking us to move on. You said winter here feels different, less heavy, more honest, I agree. Thinking about how some places know how to keep things simple. I watch people pass by, hands tucked into pockets, faces relaxed. No one looked like they were chasing anything. Even time seemed willing to take a break. I peeled another tangerine, hands cold, taste bright. It felt like a small reward for choosing not to hurry, for letting the day set its own rhythm. Sometimes pauses feel awkward. This one didn't. It fit naturally, like it had been waiting for us to notice it. If life had more moments like this, maybe we'd stop calling them pauses. Maybe we just call them the part that matters most.
The orange started changing quietly without asking for attention. It softened at the edges, letting pink and gold share the sky for a moment. We stopped walking, not because we were tired, but because the light asked us to. Some views don't need movement, they need stillness. Your face caught the last warmth, and I noticed how different everything looks when the day begins to loosen its grip. Even familiar places felt briefly unfamiliar in the best way. The air cooled slightly, just enough to remind us that evening was approaching, but it didn't rush us. It stayed polite, giving us time to adjust. I thought about how often I miss transitions, always focused on before or after. This one refused to be skipped. It insisted on being seen. If colors could speak, this one would say, nothing lasts forever, but some moments are kind enough to fade slowly.
expected, hovering just above the water, like it wasn't ready to let go.
We watched quietly, not wanting to interrupt. I noticed how the day felt complete without asking us to decide anything.
No plans confirmed, no promises made, just presence shared naturally. Your hand brushed mine again, this time intentionally. It felt like agreement, not about the future, but about this moment being enough. The colors deepen slowly, teaching patience without saying a word. I wish more things ended like this, without urgency, without regret. As the light finally slipped away, I felt grateful for the way it left us, not empty-handed, but holding something small and warm, like a calm we could carry into the night. If we remember anything tomorrow, let it be this: how gently the sun said goodbye, and how easy it was to let it go.
The morning felt sharper today, like the air had been washed overnight. Cold enough to wake me up, warm enough to stay outside. Without thinking twice, you peeled a tangerine slowly, the scent spreading faster than the wind. It felt like winter's version of summer, bright in a quieter way, sweet without trying too hard. We walked past rows of trees, branches heavy with color. I thought about how strange it is that something so small can hold an entire season inside it. The sky stayed clear, almost proud of itself. Clouds kept their distance, letting the light fall freely on the road ahead of us. I noticed my steps getting lighter, my thoughts following along. Nothing dramatic had changed, but everything felt a little easier, as if the day had already decided to be on our side. If mornings could choose a sound, this one would be quiet laughter, the soft crunch of gravel, and the promise that today doesn't need much to feel complete.
The forecast said nothing special, just clear weather all day. But the morning felt lighter than usual, as if the island had already decided to be kind to us. I watch the sunlight slide across the road, resting briefly on stone walls before moving on. Even the shadows looked relaxed, stretching without hurry, like they had nowhere else to be. You walked a step ahead, hands in your pockets, not saying much. Somehow that made the silence feel not empty. I realized how rarely I let moments stay this unfinished. The sea appeared between buildings, blue and unbothered, doing what it always does. No announcements, no change in tone, just presence. I wondered when life started asking for explanations for things that simply feel right. We passed cafés with open doors, voices drifting out slowly. Someone laughed, someone wiped a table, someone else stared outside like they were waiting for something. They didn't want to rush. I thought about all the days spent checking time, measuring progress, counting what's next here. Even those thoughts lost their urgency, they softened like they understood they weren't needed. If happiness has a temperature, it must feel like this. Not warm enough to overwhelm, not cool enough to distance, just clear, just enough. Let's stay a little longer, not to capture it, not to name it, but to let this day exist without proof. Some moments don't want to be remembered, they want to be lived quietly, then left alone. My hands still smell like citrus long after we finished eating. The scent lingered, refusing to disappear, as if it wanted to remind me where I'd been. We sat on low steps outside a small cafe, cups warm in our palms. Conversation drifted, touching small topics, and floating away without needing conclusion. You talked about nothing urgent, a movie you have remembered, a song you never finished. I like that, the way words didn't compete for importance. Slowly, some nodding hello, others lost in their own thoughts. There was no rush in their faces, it felt contagious. I caught myself smiling for no clear reason. Maybe it was the light or the quiet confidence of the day. Maybe it was simply relief, the kind you don't notice until it settles in. I scrub moments away, eager to move on. This one resisted, it stayed on my skin, soft but persistent. Even if everything else fades, I hope I remember this. Hands smelling like citrus, sunlight without pressure, and the feeling that nothing was missing. Even when nothing special was happening.
Love. The road looked different in this light, washed in pale winter sun, as if every color had decided to soften just a little. Even the shadows felt friendly, stretching beside us instead of getting in the way. We followed a narrow path between trees heavy with fruit, bright dots of orange against muted green, like the island's way of smiling without showing too much. You slowed your steps to match mine, not saying why. Sometimes that's how care appears, not announced, just adjusted. The air carried a faint sweetness mixed with cold enough to keep us awake. I breathed in deeply, thinking about how rare it is to feel refreshed without feeling rushed. Houses passed quietly, windows catching light, curtains moving gently. Life was happening, but it didn't interrupt us. It felt like we were allowed to pass through untouched. I realized how often I walk while thinking ahead, already somewhere else. Here the road asked for attention, not urgency, and I was happy to give it that. If this light fades later, let it fade naturally. For now, I wanna stay inside this moment, walking slowly, breathing easily, letting the day brighten us from the inside out.
Sky went quieter as the day leaned back, not darker, just calmer, like it had finished what it came to do. We walked again, slowly this time, letting the road guide us. The sea reflected the colors without exaggeration, accepting whatever you asked what time it was. I checked then shrugged, it didn't feel important. Some hours carry more meaning without knowing their number. The scent of citrus still followed us faintly, mixed now with cooler air. It felt like a memory forming before the moment. pace, without summary, without judgment. Just a gentle landing, as if the sky itself was telling us it's okay to rest.
We walk between rows of trees, branches leaning inward, as if the path was being held together by patience alone. The ground felt firm, unbothered by our presence. I listened to our footsteps, how they echoed briefly then vanished. It felt like proof that we were moving forward, even without a destination. The cold brushed my cheeks, not sharp, just enough to feel alive. You pulled your coat closer, laughing softly, and the sound stayed with me longer than it should have. I noticed how easy it felt to stay quiet. No awkward pauses, no urge to fill the space. Silence here didn't feel empty, it felt shared. The trees stood steady, carrying their color proudly. They didn't rush to change, didn't apologize for staying bright in the middle of winter. I admired that. As we reached the end of the path, the view opened suddenly, wide and calm. I realized then that some walks are less about arriving and more about learning how to move gently through time. If I take anything back with me, let it be this rhythm, slow steps, clear air, and the understanding that even in colder seasons, brightness finds a way to stay.
Wind, it didn't rush us today. It stayed clear, almost generous, letting the cold exist without making a point of it. We walk side by side, hands brushing occasionally, neither of us apologizing. The road curved softly, as if it didn't want to surprise us.
I thought about other winters, how they felt heavier, how I moved faster just to escape them. This one felt different, it invited us to stay.
The color of fruit against green leaves, the sound of footsteps on dirt, the way that showed briefly, then disappeared. Small things, but they added up quickly. You smiled and said this was your favorite kind of weather. Not too warm, not too cold, just enough to feel awake. As the afternoon leaned forward, I realized this season didn't need fixing. It just needed space. And for once, we had plenty of it. There was salt on the table, left over from earlier plates. No one bothered to clean it up. It felt earned, like proof we'd been here a while. You traced patterns in the wood, listening. I noticed how the night was no longer announcing itself. It had settled in quietly, like a regular. The bartender wiped glasses slowly, not in a hurry. Music stayed low, just enough to guide the room, not lead it. I thought about cities I've loved and how different they feel. After sunset, this one didn't pretend. It stayed calm, confident in its pace. The drink tasted softer now, edges rounded off. Maybe it was the air, or maybe it was me. Either way, I didn't question it. If nights had signatures, this one would be subtle. Salt on the table, dim lights, and a feeling that nothing important was being missed anywhere else. After the sun was gone, the island didn't go quiet. It just changed its voice, speaking softer, closer to the ground. We stayed seated, watching the dark settle in layers. Someone lit a cigarette nearby. The glow brief but precise, it felt like punctuation, not interruption. My drink warmed slowly, ice melting without urgency. I didn't mind, some things are better when they lose their edge. You asked what tomorrow looked like, shrugged, smiling. Tonight didn't need a sequel, it stood well on its own. The music leans into the room, bass steady, breaths breathing low. It felt less like a performance and more like a shared pulse. As the night deepened, I understood something simple. Not every ending needs closure, some just need a place to land. A table near the water and enough time to feel settled.
first brass note came in gently, like someone clearing their throat. Before speaking honestly, it filled the space without pushing anything aside. We ordered another round, not out of need, but because the night felt like it was still opening. Some evenings ask you to stay longer, this was one of them. Laughter floated from the next table, low and unforced. Stories didn't compete, they overlapped, blending into the sound of cutlery, glass, and the sea nearby. I watch reflection move across the surface, city lights meeting water, never fully touching. It reminded me how some things don't need to connect perfectly to exist together. The music stayed behind the conversation, never demanded attention. It knew its role to support, to underline, to let moments breathe. As the night leaned closer, I realized this was my favorite tempo. Not too slow, not trying to hurry, just steady enough to carry us forward without asking where we're going. The glass stayed empty longer than expected. No one rushed to refill it. It felt like a decision we all made quietly. The room had thinned out, chairs sat uneven, tables closer than before. Only the night regulars remain, the kind who don't check the time unless they have to. I leaned forward, resting my arms on the table, feeling the grain beneath my skin. It grounded me more than the drink ever did outside. The sea kept its rhythm, unimpressed by our conversations. Waves came and went, not repeating themselves, not explaining anything. I respected that. I thought about the day again, how full it had been without trying. Walking, waiting, watching light change. Nothing forced, nothing wasted. The music stayed low, almost hesitant, bass breathing slowly, drums barely reminding us that time still existed. It felt like a shared agreement to stay here a little longer. When I finally looked up, the glass was still empty, and for the first time it didn't feel like something was missing. The last bus lights passed by outside, brief and distant. Someone mentioned the time, then let it go. No one seemed ready to leave yet. The night had thinned out, leaving only the ones who knew how to sit with it. No small talk, no catching up, just presence. I watched reflections move across the floor, light bending with every step. It reminded me that even still moments are always changing, just slower. You said tomorrow would come fast, I nodded, but tonight felt like it knew how to stretch itself, how to give without rushing. The bass hummed underneath everything, steady as breathing. It felt grounding, like something I could rely on without thinking. When we finally stood up, chairs scraping softly, I realized this was the kind of ending I like most, unannounced, unforced, just a quiet understanding that it was time.
The lights were dimmed further without announcement. Someone stacked chairs nearby. The night was beginning to fold itself up. I stayed seated watching shadows move across the walls. Every mark, every scuff felt familiar now, as if the room remembered us. There was a time I thought nights needed meaning, big conversations, clear endings. Now I'm not so sure, some nights just need space to exist quietly. The last song plays softly, almost apologetically. Bass slow, piano trailing off like it wasn't ready to leave. I appreciated that restraint. I thought about what I'd take with me, not the place, not the drink, just the pace. The way time loosened its grip, but no one challenged it as we stepped out. The air felt colder but cleaner, the sea still there, unchanged, patient as ever. If any light stayed behind tonight, I hope it was this, the understanding that rest doesn't always mean stopping. Sometimes it just means moving slower and letting the night carry the rest.
The tide pulled back quietly, leaving the rocks darker than before. We took our seats without ceremony, wooden chairs, salt still in the air. A cold glass met my hand, condensation running slow. It tasted simple, like it didn't need to impress anyone. That felt right. The sky had already finished its performance, now settling into deeper colors. No one rushed to fill the silence. Even the waves seemed to slow down, as if they knew this hour belonged to resting. You lean back, watching boats return, lights flickering on one by one. We didn't talk much, but the space between us felt comfortable, earned. I thought about how full the day had been, not with events, but with moments that didn't ask for names. Walking, waiting, letting things arrive on their own. As the glass emptied, I felt lighter, not because of the drink, but because nothing was pulling me forward. For now, being here was enough.
After midnight, frequency sounds different. Not louder, just closer, like it's speaking directly to whoever's still listening. We stepped outside for air, jackets pulled tight, the street was nearly empty. Lights stretched in across wet pavement, every sound carried further now. You didn't say much, neither did I. Some conversations end naturally, not because they're finished, but because words would only repeat what's already understood. I stood there, hands in my pockets, watching the water move without caring who noticed. It felt honest, unobserved moments usually are. I thought about all the nights I tried to escape too early, worried about tomorrow. Tonight felt different, tomorrow could wait, it always does. The island felt smaller now, but not in a limiting way. More like a room with the lights turned down. Everything's still there, just calmer. When we went back inside, I knew this night wouldn't follow us home exactly, but the feeling might, and that felt like enough.
The second round came without asking, like everyone already agreed. No cheers, no toast, just glasses returning to the table. The room felt smaller now, not crowded, just closer. Voices stay low, laugh shorter, as if the night had shifted gears. I lean back, listening more than speaking. There's a point where conversation stops trying to be interesting and starts being honest. We were there, outside, the sea kept moving, unbothered. Inside, time slow, stretching comfortably between songs. I thought about how rarely I let myself stay this long. Usually I leave early, afraid of wasting time. Tonight felt like the opposite. Leaving would have been the loss. The bass held everything together, steady, patient. It didn't rush the moment, neither did we. When the glass emptied again, I didn't signal for more. Some rounds are meant to end it exactly where they do. Let's not decide anything yet, you said, looking at the water like it might answer for us. I nodded, because for once I didn't need a direction.
We walk closer to the shore, shoes in our hands, letting the cold sand wake us up slowly. The tide moved in and out, never asking if we were ready, never apologizing for leaving.
You talked about small things, things you usually skip, old habits,
Places you don't go anymore, how strange it feels to slow down without you.
I listened, not to respond, but to stay.
When the sun lowered itself, everything changed color. Voices softened, the wind leaned closer. Even time seemed unsure about moving forward. I thought about how often we mistake speed for certainty, how often we rush just to feel in control. Out here nothing was urgent, and that felt like permission. We sat without checking phones, without framing the moment, just breathing,
Just being.
your shoulder against mine felt heavier than words, lighter than promises. If we ever forget how to do this, how to move without pushing, let this be what we return to. Not the place, but the pace, going slowly. Not because we're afraid, but because some feelings only reveal themselves when you stop chasing them. Let's leave before it becomes a story. Let it stay unfinished so we can come back whenever the world feels too loud.
Sky felt closer than usual today, as if the clouds decided to walk with us. No rush in your steps, no plan beyond the next wave. Touching the sand and pulling back again. We didn't talk much, not because there was nothing to say, because everything important was already understood. Your shadow stretched longer than mine, and I followed it without thinking.
The road curved gently, like it knew where we were headed. Cafés passed by quietly, windows open, curtains breathing.
Somewhere a radio played a song that didn't ask for attention, and somehow it let it end. Slowly let the light fade without warning. If we forget the details, let us at least remember how easy it felt to be right here beside each other, with nowhere else to go. Day is learning how to let go. You can see it in the way colors soften and how conversations slow down without being asked. We walk closer together, not because it got colder, but because it felt right. Your sleeve brushed mine, and somehow that small contact felt heavier than words. Shops began to close quietly. Signs in the sea stayed the same. Patient as ever, holding the last line. Without comment, I wondered if evenings are meant to feel like this. Not sad, not final, just gently conclusive. Like a thought that doesn't need to be finished aloud. You said this would be a good place to come back to someday. I agreed, even though I knew we wouldn't return to this exact version of it that felt okay. As the sky leaned darker, I realized some moments don't ask to be remembered precisely. They just wanna leave behind a sense of calm, a slower breath, a reminder that not everything needs to be rushed into tomorrow. Was quieter, light spaced farther apart. Our footsteps echoed briefly, then disappeared, like the day was finally folding itself away. The guest house windows glowed softly, welcoming without asking questions. Shoes by the door, jackets on chairs, the familiar comfort of temporary places We sat without turning on the TV, listening to the night settle into its rhythm. I felt tired, but not in a way that asked for sleep, more like satisfaction. You mentioned tomorrow casually, without plans, without urgency. I like that, the idea that the next day could arrive without pressure. As the lights dimmed, I thought about carrying this bag. Not the scenery, not the weather, but the pace, the way today allowed us to move gently from moment to moment. If we forget details later, let this remain a quiet night after a full day that didn't ask us to be anything more than present. Tables face the sea, as if that was a main attraction. Plates arrive slowly, steam rising, conversations blending with the sound of waves. You talked about the food, about how days like this make everything taste better. Knowing it wasn't really about eating, but about sitting long enough to notice we weren't in a hurry. Lights reflected on the water, breaking into small pieces. Boats rocked gently, unconcerned with the time. The evening didn't push us forward, it held us in place. I thought about how rarely I let myself stay somewhere after the goal is met. Here there was no goal, just the comfort of being done without feeling finished. If nights always arrive like this, with warmth instead of weight, I wouldn't mind letting go of a few expectations. Some endings are simply invitations to rest.
The sun climbed higher without asking for attention. Shadows shortened, coffee cooled, and conversations grew quieter, like the day was settling into itself. We found a bench that faced the water, not for the view, but because it felt right to stop there. Sitting felt earned, not like a pause, but like continuation. somewhere behind us. Somewhere behind us, a door opened and closed. Life kept happening, but it didn't interrupt us. It felt good to be part of the day instead of passing through it. I thought about returning home, about how this calm would follow us in pieces. A slower step, a deeper breath, a quieter response. If afternoons always feel like this, halfway between intention and rest, maybe that's where I want to stay. Not moving too fast, not standing still, just letting the day carry us forward, one gentle moment at a time. We said we'd head back soon, but the road curved again, inviting us forward without making a case. One more turn didn't feel like delay, it felt like agreement. The afternoon stretched gently, as if it knew we weren't finished yet. Cars passed slowly, windows open, music leaking out without trying to be heard. I thought about all the times I rushed to finish moments, afraid they disappear if I didn't name them. Here, everything seems less fragile, more willing to stay. You pointed toward the water where the color had started to shift. Not dramatic, just different enough to notice, not enough to interrupt. We sat on a low wall, feet dangling, watching the horizon, practice becoming evening. No conclusions, no promises, just the quiet understanding that some days don't need to be completed. If we leave now, let it be because the light told us to, not because we ran out of reasons, but because we found enough to carry back with us.
Did it but dry. I thought about sending a message, something simple like you'd like it here, but the words felt unnecessary, as if this place preferred to stay unannounced. The streets curve gently, not trying to impress anyone. Walls held years of sunlight, faded signs, quiet confidence. Nothing was asking to be remembered, and that made it memorable. We
stop near the harbor, watching boats return without ceremony. No applause, no urgency, just arrival. I wondered when coming back started meaning more than leaving. You pointed out a cloud that looked like nothing at all, and somehow that felt important. I took a mental picture, knowing it wouldn't survive memory, and decided not to mind. Some moments don't want proof, they don't want to be shared. They exist best between people who were there and nowhere else. If these days become distant, if details blur, I hope what remains is the ease, the way we didn't need to explain why we stayed quiet or why that was enough. Do 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 do.
The air tasted different this morning, a little more open, a little less careful. Even the wind felt curious, slipping past us as if it wanted to know where we were headed. We didn't plan the route, we just followed the sound of waves hitting rocks, steady and unbothered. Somewhere between steps my thoughts loosened their grip, and I forgot what I was supposed to worry about. You laughed at something small, something I would have missed on any other day. That laugh stayed longer than it should have, hanging in the space between us, mixing with the smell of the sea. Shops opened slowly, chairs scraped across floors, a cat stretched itself awake. The world wasn't rushing us, for once neither were we. I realized how rare it is to feel present without trying to let the day decide its own shape. Here, even time seemed flexible.
shadows are getting shorter, almost hiding beneath our feet. It feels like the day has finally decided to settle in with us. We walked past the same road twice, not because we were lost, but because no one felt like choosing a direction yet. Even the breeze seemed patient, waiting for us to move first. I caught myself thinking how rare it is to let time lead instead of follow. Hear the clock feels decorative, something you notice but don't obey. You talked about nothing in particular, about a place you once passed through, about how some memories stay clearer than plans. I listened closely, not for meaning, but for the rhythm of your voice against the sound of the sea. The sun leaned gently without announcing a shift. Light softened, edges blurred, and the day began its slow descent. It's that clarity doesn't always arrive through decisions. Sometimes it appears quietly when you stop demanding answers and let the light change on its own.
The sun slipped behind the hills without making a scene, leaving the sky to figure out what color to be next. Everything slowed as if the day wanted one last look at itself. We stood near the water, not talking, not checking time. Your face caught the remaining light, and I thought about how some moments feel complete without doing anything special. The air cooled gently, just enough to notice. Lights came on behind us, one by one, like the town was waking up for a different kind of day. I realized then that endings don't always ask for a sad If this light stays anywhere, I hope it stays like this. Soft, uninsistent, reminding us that it's okay to let the day go without holding on to it.